Depression Chena, The 7 Habits takes me to books.
Right.
We love books here. Let's tend to books. Our viewers love books. What 3 books would you want to recommend to our book-loving audience out there that you've read?
Because I read books every 2 weeks. That's a very difficult question. But like I've said, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's really an intriguing
That book changed my life.
It's amazing.
It set me on a course of having a morning routine and sticking to those 7 habits. It's done the same thing for you?
It has. It has. Like I said, I was at habit number 4, think win-win. Habit number 5, seek first to understand before you understood. It's so biblical, but you use it in business, you use it in social life. Habit number 6, synergize. Habit number 7, sharpen the saw. That is very important. It's about mental health. Imagine when that book was written, it was way before mental health issues came in. But you know a saw is sharp, but no one ever thinks about sharpening. It's about taking care of yourself as well. So that's book number 1. I'll put them into categories. Let me go into category number 2, African literature. Bettina Gapa, Rotten Row, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Purple Hibiscus, and Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. Those, and of course, and Chinua Achebe. Things Fall Apart.
African literature, one I would recommend is this book by Patisa Nyati. Patisa Nyati has written quite a number of books. He's also been on the show. I recommend Patisa Nyati's book. So that's the African category.
The African
Anything
category.
else?
And biographies, the third one is Arsene Wenger. My Life in Red and White. It's about his journey, his life journey. Right. I got a lot of lessons from him, from his life before Arsenal, growing up in France, when you went to Japan, you even coached in Japan. The footballers that have gone through his hands, the George Weahs of this life. He's amazing, and how he had to work through moving from Highbury to Emirates, and that affected our squad. And people are like, oh, Arsenal doesn't spend money, but then there were processes going on, and I'm talking about Arsene Wenger's book because my passion for sport, and because I started working first in football, is because I believe sport is an analogy. I like living my life in analogies. I'll just give one.
Yeah.
Football. When you're playing football, take yourself as number 9, you're the striker. You have your ball, those are your goals, right? And so in life, and they're defenders. So there are hurdles. You don't just get into a football field and you just score. There are people that are trying to defend. There's a proper goalkeeper there, and there's a small net. You also have to make sure that you know where you're pointing, where you are going. And then you also have support systems. You don't just, when the match starts, you don't just go straight and you score. Sometimes you go back, put back the support structures, you pass the ball around.
That's life itself.
That is exactly life. And then if another team scores, if your team scores, the game is not over until the fat lady sings. So life is like that. Even if you go through a setback, somebody is leading 1-0, it doesn't mean that your life has ended. It doesn't mean that is the end of the game. It continues. You have a moment to start again. And then outside, there's my Depression Chena, outside the Mikel Arteta, the Arsene Wenger, the coach. You've got your mentors who see everything from outside. They have an eagle's eye. And then in the terraces, in the stands, you've got the supporters. Sometimes they're cheering you, sometimes they're booing you. And they're people who've never walked in your feet, in your shoes. And there's somebody who stand up and say, "Bora ripiroro," and they're like,
and they've never kicked the ball.
So there are people like that. And then there's a referee. There are people who are just waiting to see the next mistake, and they'll blow that whistle, give you a yellow card, give you a red card, but you have to keep going until the end. So it's never over. And it's like that in rugby, it's like that in swimming. You have to swim your lap, you have to keep going. So Arsene Wenger's book for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but clearly I'll have to pick a copy and read it because I am an Arsenal. We are the Arsenal.
we are the Arsenal.
And life is about, each one of us has a race.
Indeed.
You run your race.
Stay in your lane.
You keep your lane.
Indeed.
You don't look the other side and compare. If the person is 1 up, that's okay. You keep on going. One day you'll be 1 up too.
And we have roles that we play in life.
Number 9 is number 9.
Number 9 is number 9. They're not a defender. We have our set piece specialists as well.